Hey besties, we need to talk about what you're doing in the fridge and how it may not be helping. It looks nice. It looks nice. You got me on that, but we need to talk about it. Okay? Let's do this. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Kay. I'm a professional home organizer and I am here today to talk to you about the refrigerator and how I advise you organize it and how not to fall in the trap of the aesthetic fridge. It does look nice, and you know, if you have ever searched for fridge organization either on TikTok, on Instagram, on Pinterest, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Everything's in a neat little row, box, drawer, and it's all in Roy G. Biv order. We're going to talk about that today. Before we get started, this video is sponsored by Skillshare. We'll talk a little bit about Skillshare later in the video, but and also if I talk too much and you find that I'm too rambly, you can go straight to the chapter you're interested in down below. So there's chapters for you. I got you, bestie. I've made a few videos about organizing your fridge in the past, and I am very consistent in that I want to organize the best way I can to make the food last the longest. And I'm not talking about mostly prepackaged processed foods. I'm talking about lettuce, peppers, cucumbers, zucchini, actual real food, and mostly produce. So we're talking mostly about vegetables and fruits. So in talking about vegetables and fruits, we have to get into a little bit of food science. But first, let's talk about what's actually going on in the refrigerator. So no matter what the make and model of your refrigerator is, it's not consistent in temperature throughout. There are cold spots, there are spots that are a little warmer, and there are spots that are constantly being exposed to temperature variation, and mostly we're talking about the doors of the fridge. The coldest parts of the fridge actually tend to be towards the rear of the fridge and the bottom of the fridge, but this again varies from refrigerator to refrigerator. It's not consistent throughout. I highly recommend, if you're very curious, to purchase a very inexpensive refrigerator thermometer, stick it in there, close the door, wait a few hours, open it up again, and then move it and see the variations of temperature all around your fridge. So that's a fun science experiment if you're looking for something to do. The items you want to keep in the coldest part of your fridge, make sure it doesn't freeze because I've had problems with that too, are things that are the most perishable. We're talking about milk, yogurt, well, yogurt not so much, eggs, meats, things like that are very fast to spoil if not kept cold enough. Fresh juices as well should be kept in that area of the fridge. Like if the juice was like just squeezed, you want to keep it as fresh as possible. I've often found that newer refrigerators have a deli zone, which is kept very nice consistent cold temperature for cheese and meat, and that is a place where you can keep your meats and dairy as well. In organizing people's homes and organizing my own home, I found that bins are really useful for things that don't stack. So we're talking about things that are not a neat little box shape, like bags of items, things that are round like lettuce. Bins are really great for, like, let's say in my fridge I've got like a bag of snow peas and some berries in there and a bag of sun-dried tomatoes that I used part of but not all of. So things that don't stack go great in bins, and these bins are the most fantastic because they're clear. You can see what's inside. There's no mystery. I know that it can be tempting to purchase opaque bins for the fridge, but you really want to be able to maximize visibility in there, because for me personally, I know it's an out of sight, out of mind thing if I don't see exactly what's in the container. In the past, where eggs have been concerned, I have used an egg container with a lid, and I could store things on top of the container. Lately, I've tried this product from Amazon and I love it. It's an actual egg drawer and it's fantastic. I searched for a couple of other egg drawers that looked cuter, but I noticed the eggs were going to be stored on their sides, and that's not really how to make them last the longest. You want to store your eggs pointy side down. I don't remember exactly why eggs should be stored pointy side down. I may put an edit in this video, but I think it has to do with some air bubble and bacteria traveling, but you want to make sure you put it pointy side down. If you do look at an egg, you can see that there is a pointy side and a rounder side. So you want to make sure eggs are pointy side down. They're actually pointy side down in the egg container when you get the eggs. Anyway, I've talked a lot about eggs. This container I got from Amazon, and as you can see, it's drawers. It's so fantastic. And on top, you can store anything you want up there. Like once my avocados get past the the very, very right point. I put them in the fridge to get a few more days out of them, and it's the perfect place for ripe avocados, because avocados and eggs go really well together, don't they? So this is one of the products that I've actually switched out for something else. I've really been enjoying it, and plus we can keep like 18 eggs because we eat a lot of eggs here. So next, let's talk about produce. Because I'm a plant mom, I have a big interest in botanical information, and a lot of the plants that we eat have the same needs as some of the plants that we have for decoration in our houses. So let's say you're keeping some lettuce in your fridge and it starts to wilt, and what does it need? It needs moisture, right? So a lot of the things that you learned about like houseplants, have the same thing happens in your fridge with produce. How rude of you to start doing whatever you're doing right now. You're so loud. Keeping produce fresh is a very, very delicate balance around a plant hormone called ethylene. Ethylene is a kind of plant hormone that tells plants to ripen. Some plants or some vegetables or fruits in your fridge are busy producing this hormone, just expelling it all over the place. Apples tend to be one of the worst offenders. And some vegetables and fruits are very sensitive to ethylene. And when they get close to something producing ethylene, they will just over-ripen, like let's say bananas. It's for that reason, and I bet you're wondering, it's for that reason why your crisper drawers are actually separated into two separate drawers. They may have different labels like high humidity, low humidity, fruits, vegetables, vent open, vent closed. It's two different environments for two different kinds of vegetables and fruits. Ethylene sensitive vegetables and ethylene producing vegetables, or vegetables and fruits that just don't care. Things that are sensitive to ethylene include leafy green vegetables, cucumbers, bananas, we already discussed that, avocados, who are both producing it and sensitive to it at the same time. And for this reason, apples and bananas, even though bananas don't go in the fridge, apples and bananas should be kept separate from one another, because the apples are producing ethylene, the bananas are absorbing it, and the bananas will go all like brown and rot very quickly if they're too close to apples. So every time I see a fruit bowl with like apples and bananas together, I get so upset. I really get them away. If you're unsure which vegetables and which fruits go together, I have created a free PDF for you. It is there for you to download. I will link it down in the description below. Because we eat a lot of vegetables and fruits in this house, we have often created extra produce space. Like we don't have enough crisper drawer space. I wish we had more. Maybe like one day we'll get one of those like fancy fridges with 4 crisper drawers, but until then we have some extra containers. I've talked a little bit about these OXO containers in the past. We still really like those. But I really still like this progressive lettuce keeper that I've had for a little over 10 years now. It has stood the test of time, and it really does the job it's supposed to do, and I really like it. It may not be the prettiest, cutest thing on the planet. Like I wish it was a little less graduated and a little more up and down, but it does what it's supposed to do. It keeps the lettuce fresh for a long time. It provides a lot of humidity for things that need it. You can open and close the vent. It's really fantastic. I highly recommend this product if you are looking for something to keep extra lettuce in. I also highly recommend, this is from Cole & Mason. It was not inexpensive, but I have tried many herb containers for as long as I've been cooking with fresh herbs, and I have to say that this one is my favorite. What's so neat about it is it keeps water at the bottom, and it keeps it in a really nice humid environment without having to keep the plastic bag. If you would like to, if you don't really have the wherewithal to get one of these, you can just keep the plastic bag that the herbs came in and put the herbs in a jar with some water. It's basically the same effect, but I find that this is really nice. It's all compact in one, and you can have little separations for the different herbs. I find that mint particularly lasts longer in this than I had any method I had used before, and I had tried a number of methods to keep mint longer than I had in the past, and it hasn't really worked. This has been fantastic, and it fits right in the door. I don't have to use any actual fridge space for it. It's wonderful, and I will definitely link that down below as well. It definitely was not cheap, but worth the money 100% for me. The other thing I'll say is that eggs do not belong in your refrigerator door if you live in the USA. Every time I make one of these videos and I talk about eggs, I get a comment from someone in Europe asking why we refrigerate our eggs, and the reason is our eggs in the USA are treated and it sort of strips away the protective layer on the egg so that it increases the risk of salmonella poisoning. So we have to keep the eggs refrigerated to inhibit the growth of bacteria. So that is why we in the USA keep eggs in the refrigerator. But I found that a lot of the older fridges and even some of the newer fridges have of those refrigerator door egg compartments, and I encourage you not to keep eggs there because the area of the door has the most temperature variation of anywhere in your fridge, and you're going to, unless you can eat your eggs very, very quickly, I suggest that you store them in a colder part of your fridge. So you're probably asking yourself, well, what can you keep in the door of your fridge? And the answer is pretty simple. You can keep anything that has its own sort of preservatives in them. Then we're talking about condiments, sauces, pickles, olives, those kinds of things. I know you don't have to keep hot sauce in the fridge, but we do. I don't know why we do, we just do. And we have lots of vinegary, salty sauces and pickled things in there. And those keep pretty well because they have their own either acid or salty preservative inside of them to keep them from spoiling too quickly. The last thing I recommend is that you set your fridge up in appropriate zones. Zones are going to help everyone in your household remember where things go when they are going to put them back, or where to reach for things when they're looking for something to eat, such as this is the drink zone, this is the leftover zone, this is the zone for produce, this is the zone for cut up vegetables when you cut them up, because if you cut up an onion, you have to refrigerate the rest. So there's a zone for that as well, and a zone, of course, for condiments, meats, cheeses, those kinds of things. So let's talk a little bit about aesthetic fridges and why it's a little bit impractical. So let's talk about these produce drawers that I've been seeing marketed all around. They look really beautiful. I don't think they're marketing them to be for produce, but I'm going to warn you that these drawers are open. They have an open place where you can actually grab them with your fingers. And I believe they're open in the back as well. So you're exposing whatever's on the inside to a lot of airflow. Some things don't mind that very much, you know, like some things can be exposed to the air. It's perfectly fine. They won't spoil very quickly, but some things will definitely dry out very, very fast if exposed to too much air. We're talking a lot about berries. We're talking about leafy green vegetables. We're talking about lettuce. We're talking about all kinds of things that need humidity to last longer. If you really like the look of these drawers, I highly recommend that you use them for prepackaged foods that have their own protection, like cheeses, like the little baby Built cheeses, or little tiny yogurts, or anything that is well protected, little string cheeses, things like that, that are already protected that you don't have to give humidity to or special treatment to. They do look really beautiful and really cute, and they're a great use of vertical space because they stack, and especially if you put everything in rainbow order, they look really nice. But I'm going to tell you, practically, they don't really pass the vibe check for me for storing produce or anything that needs humidity or not to be exposed to the air to maintain freshness. Another couple of products I really highly recommend for your fridge if you're looking to buy products are Blue Apple. I still do use Blue Apple. They are this cute little apple where you can put a little packet inside that absorbs ethylene and turns it into a very mundane, harmless substance that does not cause your vegetables and fruit to overripen and rot. I also really, really like Stasher bags. Stasher bags are an amazing silicone storage bag that is a food storage bag that helps save on plastics. If you're purchasing a lot of Ziploc plastic bags and want to reduce your use of single-use plastics, I would highly recommend looking into Stasher bags. They're made of silicone. You can boil them, freeze them, sous vide in them. You can do all kinds of things. They are washable. You can reuse them thousands of times. You put them right in the dishwasher, and they're just really great. I use them to store, if I cut up a vegetable or a little piece of jalapeno that I had from the last meal, I'll put it in a Stasher bag, or I can take stuff with me, you know, in my bag little snacks. They're a great alternative for single-use plastic bags. They are a little expensive, so I recommend buying a few and expanding your collection over time. The last thing I want to recommend to you is food huggers. I love these. I purchased these a couple of years ago just to try them out, and I very highly recommend these. They're great if you cut the end of a cucumber or a lemon in half and you don't really want to use a container to put it in because, you know, it's going to take up a lot more space. You just pop a food hugger on there and it stays fresh and it's limit exposure to the air. They're wonderful. They do make a version for avocados. I do not recommend that. It did not work for me. I just was like very disappointed in it. Don't worry about it. Avocados are their own like separate kind of problem child. You just want to maybe put some citrus on it, a little lemon juice on it, and limit the exposure, the cut side exposure to the air. I just like to put it in a container lined with some lime juice or lemon juice at the bottom and eat it pretty quickly. But the avocado food huggers I don't recommend. But the regular like lemon lime other food huggers, highly recommend. They are a beautiful product, also made of silicone. Did you enjoy learning all kinds of things about food science in this video? If you did and you are a curious person, then I encourage you to go and check out our sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people like me on topics including entrepreneurship, tech, cooking, web design, interior design, photography, and so much more. Skillshare offers classes designed for real life so you can move your creative journey forward without putting life on hold. I've been enjoying Anna Marcoux again this month, especially this class on bedroom interior design for better sleep, because besties, our bedroom is so dark. It's got this amazingly beautiful but dark blue paint on it, and I am exploring ways to make it lighter and brighter, and Anna Marcoux has some great advice on how to decorate your bedroom for better sleep. And there's even projects you can do and discussions for the bedroom with all kinds of after, before pictures. So good, so good. Skillshare is also incredibly affordable when compared to in-person classes and workshops. The first 1,000 people to use the link in the description box or my code, The Organized Soprano, will get 1 month free trial of Skillshare. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video and supporting creative entrepreneurs everywhere. All right, friends, that does it for my fridge organizing video. I will link all the products that I talked about down in the description below for you so that you can take a look for yourself. And thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. I hope that you're having a wonderful day, and let me know what you do to organize your fridge, or better still, let me know if you have one of those like aesthetic fridges with the rainbow and stuff. Let me know how that's working for you. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Thanks for watching.